So today we're going to talk about men's going on their own way. So I got this question on one of my comments, so I'm responding to that. And I'm going to freestyle it as well. So stay tuned to understanding what does that mean and where is that going for a lot of the females in the world. Stay tuned. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform a woman to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. So here's the thing about, we're going to be simply talking about men going on their own way. So it stands for BMGTOW. And what it looks like, it is an anti-feminist as well, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women, from our society which they believe have destroyed about feminism. So there's three components I'm going to be talking about. The first one is trauma, astrology, and psychology as well, working behind those meaning. So when it comes to practically a lot of the men, it sounds like this movement is going into a man wanting to be a monk, having oral with food than it is being with a female. So number one, when I see stuff like this, either online or everywhere else where it feels divided in any way, I obviously immediately think of trauma, imbalance, and as well brain health. So when somebody's going through some sort of this type of movement, I immediately go, this is an imbalance and they need to work on their trauma, and that's going from a childhood. It could be a female figure of this man that gender-wise as a male man is having issue of a female in his life and it was never dealt with. So when trauma is not dealt with, there is a big series of behaviors. Something like this is a fear that grows in anxiety and trauma, not getting the support and the help that is needed. I think it's very important to have personal development and also healing some of the trauma that's coming from it, and it goes all the way back as a child. That's the first thing. We are all obviously masculine and feminine. I don't care. We all have values. It's where do you want, and it molds into a belief system. So if your belief system is a phobia of feminists, then that's something that we have to address. That's the current situation. We got to go all the way back. I said all the way back as childhood, and it's going to show up there as well. It's going to come up with different words, but the scene and the scenario, it's going to be very familiar, and the sensation that has it is going to be familiar. I made a playlist about trauma. I would recommend you diving in and figuring out where are this theories coming from, or a philosophy or a belief system. That's how I kind of see it. All right, number two, we can talk about astrology. I always use astrology as a backup philosophy and more of a spiritual practice than it is. I'm not here to forecast anybody's future. That's not my place. I'm all about free will. So people have choice. They don't have to do what I recommend based seeing what I consult with the stars. Anyhow, so my job through astrology is I'm still a human being that's not perfect. It talks about masculine and feminine. We talk about the sun. The sun is supposed to be noble. It's supposed to be protective. It's not going to hurt anything that is more vulnerable than himself. It's not going to create more of a negative space. It's not hurting. But when I see the sun is damaged, or it's hurting, or there's a lot of pain in there, that needs to be dealt with, because he's obviously imbalanced. So he's going to obviously go into the feminine factor, which is his emotion, which is the moon sign, where he's supposed to get nurtured by his mother. So the father represents the sun technically, and the moon represents the mother. So when he's not doing too good, he's going to go into I need to feel good to do good. So that could be drugs, sex, alcohol, whatever it might be. It could be eating, being a foodie, binge eating, whatever the result might be. So he's tapping onto that because his masculine is wounded. He's no longer wanting to do good to feel good. He's going to go into feel good to do good. But I think it's important as a human being individual, when the sun rises, we get out of bed. When the sun falls, the moon rises, we go to bed. You know what I mean? So we rest and recruit. Like I was mentioning about astrology, the sun is about yes, that's the masculine, and the feminine is no. When the sun is in a yes mode, because he's saying yes to opportunity, yes, I want to go out there and do the very best I can. You know, the no is like, look, this is not the right time. This is very scary. I'm not ready for it. And it's setting certain boundaries. Feel normal. However, that's going back into another segment that I want to talk about, the psychology of it. Have you heard of anima and animus? I talk about this. Again, it's about the masculine and the feminine. We already know that testosterone get restored within 24 hours, and estrogen for a female restoring her mechanism is 28 days. So when we're not practicing within that same role and we're not getting the proper healing, when we reverse the role, we're end up living a shorter life and even unfulfilled purpose as well. I hope I have answered that kind of question clearly without going roundabout, and it kind of makes sense based on the 3 tiers that I always have practiced on this topic. And I really want to make sure that as a collective that we heal, and as an individual that you're getting the healing that you really need so that you can thrive. And I think the key word here is thriving. You know, you already have gone through the trauma, you survived the trauma. It's all about getting the healing. I think the whole movement of the men going their own way, I think it's just one way of just allowing this behavior, accepting this behavior. This is the best way of doing it. It is not the best. There's other alternative ways of doing things. And for any female who's kind of learning about this, be kind and gentle to your man, be respectful to your man, and understand that we need to work together and not against each other. I think that's really where things are being divided, because eventually testosterone will start to decline in a man as he gets older, and female estrogens also decline as well as we get older. So we tap in more of the testosterone. So that's where a lot of older women who have hit menopause have wanting to conquer and compete instead of her younger years. But if it's the other way around, it's always reverse. Again, I want to go back to trauma. Get that healing that needs to get done. Work on it, and you will reap the rewards. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Keep on letting me know which topic you want me to talk about. All right, bye. Look, if you're serious about being fearless in love and ready to be treated like a queen, links is down below to book a time. I got over 100 videos on YouTube, and I post new videos every week. So make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button. You get notified when new videos goes live. If your friend is actually stuck in love, share and like my video. I do take requests on topics and answer your burning question about your relationship. So just leave a comment down below. Otherwise, see you in the next video.